Hey guys, welcome to a new vlog. Today we are just outside Bankstown Airport and we're going inside some private jets. Now, I've never been on a private jet, I've never flown private, I've never even sat in one, I've never had anything to do with private jets, but I reached out to Navair, who's one of the leading companies when it comes to private jets in Australia, and they were kind enough to let us come to their office, to their hangar, to their whole sort of plane setup, and have a look at their private jets. I think we're gonna look at two of their private jets. And actually one thing I learned when I was speaking to them is that private jets aren't about luxury. Sure, the luxury comes with the private jets. Like, let's not muck around, you know what I mean? There's no doubt that private jets are all about luxury. But the main thing when it comes to private jets is that it's about the time you save. So the way they kind of explain it to me is that with luxury, you can buy luxury. You can go to Emirates, you can go to Qatar Airways and buy a first class ticket. Boom, that's your luxury. But when you buy that, you still have to check in at the check-in desk, line up when it comes to the boarding gate. There's all these things. Go to the airport 3 hours before the flight takes off. There's all these things you've got to do that are time consuming. And so the difference between a private jet and a first class ticket to, Emirates or Qatar is the time you save. So the service these guys provide is that they will pick you up in a luxury vehicle, which is what we're waiting for right now. We're waiting for the luxury vehicle to pick us up right now, and then take you to the airport. And from the moment you hit the airport and get on the plane, you can be in the air in 6 minutes. That's the point of difference when it comes to these private jets. They've actually got a partnership. Navair has a partnership with Astra Limousines, and they do all the kind of transfers from your house to the airport. And then obviously once you're at the airport, they look after the plane side of things on the private jet. We're waiting for the car to pick us up now. I think it's gonna be a Rolls Royce, and we're gonna jump in and do the whole experience from here all the way to the tarmac. Guys, I feel like I'm DJ Khaled, but I'm not. Everything smells and feels expensive, which obviously it is. So we're on the way to the airport, guys. And like I said, the whole thing about these private jets and this whole experience is the time you save. I think we're here. So the car pulls up right next to the plane. Alright guys, so this plane right here is a CJ3 Plus, Citation CJ3 Plus. It can take up to 7 passengers and it can fly up to 3,450 kilometers. So that's from Perth to Sydney, Melbourne to Queenstown. You can do that trip on this plane. So why don't we head in and have a look. This plane here, you can have 2 pilots if you want, but it only really needs 1. And this seat, or the spare seat where the pilot isn't, can also be used as an extra passenger seat. So imagine you get on a private plane and you're in the bloody pilot seat. That, for me, that would be scary, but other people would love it. So we got 1 seat here, nice water there. We got 2, so 1, 2, another 2 seats. This is all leather, bro. The leather in this smells so good. It smells bloody expensive. And apparently, got some tables. If you want to work while you're traveling, pull that out. Let's put it back in. Boom, just like that. Cause this is actually mad. I could get used to this. Just chill. Let's keep going. So we've got power points there if you want to charge your phone. A phone, I don't know if you can use it to ring someone or not, probably. Another table. There's little tables everywhere, bro. Now, cuz, this is the question everyone wants to know. Is there a toilet? The answer is yes. So there's a little refreshment center here. They got like snacks and first aid kits and drinks and stuff. And I believe this here is like a little separator. So you close this up because under here is a toilet. So if you need to go toilet, go there, or if you need to hang out your suits, you hang your shirts and suits there. Approaching the plane now, it's this beautiful grey / silver and black one. They say, and sure, private jets are for billionaires, right? Like, sure, billionaires own these private jets. There's no doubt about it. But you don't have to be a billionaire to fly on a private jet. This is a perfect example of a private jet that anyone can fly in for a couple of $1,000s. Let's say like you and the boys are going down to like Formula One in Melbourne, or the Melbourne Cup, or like you want to do like a weekend away for a Bucks weekend or something. It's probably going to cost you, if you can like spend that much money to go to the F1 or Melbourne Cup and go to Melbourne and all that stuff, it's going to cost you a few $1,000s, right? So if you really wanted to make that experience, you know, a bit more luxury, you don't have a lot of time, you don't want to go to an airport, and you want to just be in and out, this is the plane for you. Because you can have about 5 people in here, like I said before, and if you all chip in like a couple thousand, bro, the private jet's yours. You can be in and out of Sydney into Melbourne or wherever you want to go in this jet. And we'll go in a sec, you'll see it's much smaller, but it's perfect for that, you know, for that trip with the boys or girls or whoever you're going with. And you don't need to be a millionaire or a billionaire to fly in this private jet. You can literally do it with all your mates and just chip in and have a mad weekend away. So let's go in and check it out. So like I said, guys, this one's much smaller, and you can even tell by the ladder. It's got 2 steps on the ladder, and it's a much smaller plane. Now look at this. The other one was way deeper. This one's more like that Rolls Royce we were just in. It's like the back of a Rolls Royce limo. It's got 4 seats, but it's cozy, man. Like, it's small but cozy. Oh. I'm sitting down here. This is the back seat. Back seat, windows. Window there. You got some cup holders. Another table as well. Beautiful little table here if you want to do your work, laptop, eat, whatever you want. And then, of course, you got the other 2 seats. 1 seat there, 1 seat there. You got your emergency exit. I wonder how that comes off. Is that even an emergency exit? It looks like it. It's got this thing here. I guess you just go out the main door. It's not that far from. It's not that far from the seat's not that far from the door. So, not gonna lie, this is actually. I think I like this one better. I'll tell you why, because it feels more like a nice car. And like if you're not like a good flyer or you're a nervous flyer, this right here is probably the best private jet. So a little console here. Oh, look at this, bro. AUX input, so you can be the PJ DJ. We got the 2 back seats there. I was just sitting there. We're on this seat here, and this is the thing for this plane. It's only made for short trips. So if you need to go toilet, you need to hold it, because the only toilet option on this plane is an emergency toilet, and I'm about to show you it. But you don't want to be doing like, you don't want to be doing a number 2 or anything on here. It's mainly just a number 1 and an emergency number 2, because it's not a big plane, bro. Like you're gonna stick the whole thing out. You don't want to do that. So where we came in before, let me spin this around. Right here is the emergency toilet. So if you pull this out, you got your toilet paper, your vomit bags, got a little bin if you need a bin for something. And then when you lift this up here, boom, that is your emergency toilet. Have a look at this, bro. Now, like I said, this is only for an emergency, bro, because everyone is literally sitting right next to you. Like, that's someone's seat and that's the toilet. So you don't want to be using it, bro, unless it's an absolute emergency. Let's pack it up, because when you pack this up, this can also be used like as a seat if you want to walk around, you kind of don't want to sit there anymore, an hour in or whatever, you can just chill on this seat. This is the pilot's area, the pilot seat. This is where the pilot drives. It's got all these tools. Now this plane doesn't need 2 pilots, it only really needs 1. But if you wanted to get a second pilot and pay for that service, you could, and they would sit here and you've got 2 pilots. Some people like it for peace of mind, I guess, to have 2 pilots. This seat can actually be used as another seat for a passenger. So really you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 main seats and a 5th here for a person who wants to ride on this pilot's chair. Personally, like I said before, no thanks. I'm too scared of heights. I'd rather be right at the back there. But man, some people would actually love that, I reckon. So, well, that's it, guys. This is this private jet. It's much smaller, but I reckon really nice as well. All right, guys, that's it for today's vlog. I hope you enjoyed going inside these private jets. I know I did. I definitely learned something new as well. I just want to say thank you to Navair, who gave us the opportunity to come here, hang out at the hangar, at the tarmac, at their headquarters, and go through all their jets. And also Astra Limousines, who dropped us off here in the Rolls Royce. It was an amazing experience, and hopefully one day I'll be able to actually fly in a private jet and go somewhere in one of these. But for now, that's it, guys.